So, anybody that used to fly the Grob Vigilant as an air cadet or as an instructor, did you know you can actually pretty much buy one? This Grob 109B, it's not a Vigilant, it's a civilian version of the Grob Vigilant, and it's for sale at Denbigh Gliding Club. So I'm here with Chris, just to find out a little bit more about the aircraft and to let you know about its selling features so you can potentially buy it. So what can you tell us about the aircraft?
All right, if you don't know much about these in general, they're a very economical aeroplane to get around places. So you're looking at, it burns less than 20 litres an hour. 2 people, you can stick 100 litres of fuel in, so it gets places quite far away. So you can cruise it up to about 9,500 knots, depending on weight. It doesn't need a huge amount of airfield to land in on comfortable machines. And if you've got a gliding background, you can turn the engine off and turn it into a glider.
Yeah, I noticed that with these big, massive wings. With it 17.4 metres?
That's the one.
How far do you reckon you'll be able to glide in these in still air?
So these have a glide ratio of, I think, 28 to 1. Yeah, if you're 28 miles up, you'll go 1 mile down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So,
yeah, exactly, yeah. But it's got the characteristics that you'd expect of a glider. So if you come to the wingtip here, you've got a really nice, smooth, laminar flow wing. You've even got anchor points there. What are these anchor points for, Chris?
So that'll be for parking it out. If you're leaving it outside on a windy day, at least you'll be able to keep it tied down and safe.
God, yeah. Yeah, because I imagine with these big, massive, long wings, you can get a lot of lift for them. So I noticed when I was having a look at it before, you got these in the middle of it. What do these do, and why are they linked to gliders? I'll go and pull them out real quick. If I don't fall over.
Yeah, so with these, because they're so streamlined, unlike normal powered airplanes where you might have just flaps or the drag of the airplane to bring you down, this thing needs the air brakes to give yourself a good accurate descent, and it'll actually come down. Whereas without that, it just doesn't come down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you can fly this aircraft engine stop as well, can't you?
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're wanting to improve the glide performance of the aircraft, you can feather the propeller, which I think quite cool. So, have you done a lot of engine stop working flying on these?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's a good day for gliders to stay up, this can do it as well. So, you know, you can fly for free basically for hours on end, just soaring it like a glider.
It's got the grey patch there. Just wanted to have a look inside. So, me and Chris, we used to fly the Vigilant. It looks very familiar. Things are all in the same position. For example, everything here, except, interestingly, the fuel cock in a Vigilant, it would be in the middle, but here you've got this nice, comfy armrest, which I think could be quite comfortable. And looking at the instruments, the avionics switches have been moved over with this Garmin here. So what can you tell us about the Garmin?
Not very much because I don't know how to work it. But we can fire it up. But it's a big moving map display, gives you airspace, any I don't know, obstacles, things like that. It gives you terrain warnings. So every time when you want to land here and you're in the circuit and you're pointing at that hill, it'll say terrain, pull up, pull up. So it's got all that sort of stuff. So it's kitted out quite nicely, really. And it takes a little bit. There we go. And so you've also got systems here that gives you your ground speed, vertical speed, compass, things like that. And moving map display, and those things you can change the display as well.
And what does that one do over in the corner there? AvMap, is that a GPS, I presume?
So this is another artificial horizon like that.
Bit of a backup there.
But with a backup battery source.
Yeah.
So if you lose your electrics and you can't see in cloud or something, then at least you've got these backups in place. It's really well kitted out.
So again, like a Vigilant, I noticed you've got another throttle here as well as the instructor's throttle here.
Yep.
But what I did notice on the rudder pedals is that the brakes were in a different position. Why do you reckon they did that?
I've no idea. Absolutely no idea. The Air Cadet ones are slightly better.
Got you. Well, so it's a tailwheel aircraft. So if we have a look around towards the back of the aircraft, so when you're flying an aircraft with a tailwheel, are they any more difficult to fly? Or?
When they're on the ground, yes. Yeah, you've got to be a bit more on the ball on the ground. At times it's like driving around a shopping trolley.
Yeah.
And if you're aware of the dangers and how to control it, then you're absolutely fine. But
you've got to remember, you've got a really nice big tail, so you can get weathercocked nice and easily. So what I loved about the Vigilant is it was sometimes a bit of a challenge. We didn't fly it in, you know, strong crosswinds. I think was the limit 11 knots cross.
it's something like that.
In those. But what's cool about it though is if you ever need to turn really tightly, it's not good for the treads on the wheels, but you can actually unlock the tail wheel and you can hold it on one wheel and do a full 360. Yeah. So it's got a tail lock in it, so you can lock the wheel when you're taking off, so you've got, you know, tail wheel authority. Or if you want to do a tight turn, you can crank it around. But